All right.
Whoa, almost got the bill of that big ass hat.
It's easy to do. It's
It
a
is.
gigantic hat, and we'll get to that here in just a second.
It's Brian and Brad. Grab your seat. Real talk served with a boozy beat. Tune in, don't even blink. 'Cause real estate makes us drink.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Real Estate Makes Us Drink. We're happy you're here once again. Brian Quinlan from Daniels Real Estate.
Brad Nickham from Nest Mortgage Group.
Brad, first of all, let's just do cheers because I want to get right into the beverage portion of the show. And I'm starting today. This is a gigantic glass to go along with my gigantic hat. And today's beer, Brad, is 10-gallon hat Mexican-style lager. Now, while not a Mexican-style hat,
And maybe more like 15 gallons.
maybe more like 15 gallons. It really fits this humongous glass quite well. Oddly enough, 10-gallon hat coming from the Terre Haute Brewing Company.
Well, there's a lot of people wearing big hats in Terre Haute.
Well known for their big hats, but there's a funny quote here on the back, the greatest brewery story ever told. Now, there is a QR code on there, so maybe I'll put that on the screen. You can click on that and see what that really means. But
And you definitely should zoom the picture of that can in there because it has a great look to
it
it.
really is. It's a cool image. Seems like a young lady in a 10-gallon hat and a pickup truck driving by.
And you know, it ties in to what I'm drinking today
Oh, all right.
because it is a Mexican lager,
It is.
right? Or lager. I
Lager,
say that right. A
correct.
Mexican lager.
In Spanish, it'd be lager, I guess.
Lager. And it has the time frame of tequila. It's from 1837.
Since 1837. Part of me finds that hard to believe, but
Probably brewed from the beautiful clean water of the Wabash River.
is that a thing?
It's Wabash River. To switch across.
I know, but is it clean water?
Well, we're going to call it clean. It's kind of brown when
All
I
right,
drive by.
what new tequila are you bringing out today?
This actually is a brand new tequila.
Brand new.
Cachasol. And this tequila is made at NOM 1522. You know, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Owned by Ileana Partida.
Ileana.
Master distiller Jimmy Salza from the Salza family. And they've really done some good things here. Low pressure autoclave. They've brewed this with an IPA yeast.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I said brewed, but really fermented, right?
Sure.
So they cooked it in a low pressure autoclave, crushed it through the roller mill, and then when it went into fermentation, they used an IPA yeast to create, the musto, and then of course twice distilled like normal. It's got a great funky like smell to it.
It's got the funk.
Got the funk and a really a little bit different
That's really a
taste.
good thing.
So it's weird that maybe it's that IPA yeast that makes it taste just a little bit different. It's got a great like
Got a
cooked
little funk to
agave
it.
smell, but a little funky. So I love that. So yeah, I got an interview coming up with the owner, and not only does he own Cachasol, but he also makes another agave spirit that I've never talked about in any of my shows called Raicilla.
Whoa.
And Raicilla is not made in a distillery; it's made in a thing called a pelinque. And it's a hole in the ground, and it's cooked like mezcal, and they use an old Filipino clay pot still and pine fermentation. And so a palenque is what they make mezcal or what they make raicilla or bacanora in. So it's another agave spirit. So my wife and I will be going down to the palenque and staying there. It's a whole experience. It's like a Airbnb hotel type thing at the Palenque, do 2 days there, and then we'll head into Tequila and Arandas and
More. I'm going to tequila drinking games coming.
Huatacalan is another town we're going to.
What?
We might even go to Atatanico
Dude,
and then go to Guadalajara and then fly home.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, but you've been world traveling, so I can at least
have been
go to
recently.
my homeland.
That's true. I do want to throw a shout out while this is not a Sun King product. Sun King does have a high quality Mexican lager, Pachinga.
Sun King has high quality everything.
They really do. You know what? Let's hear from Sun King. Summer's here. Crack open a cold sunlight cream ale from Sun King. Or mix it up with Weemac, Osiris, or a seasonal like Play Hard. 4 indie taproom locations, or find it wherever you grab your beer. Sun King, Indiana brewed, summer approved. I am a fan of Pachinga. I will honestly say it's not my favorite Sun King beer, but
Right.
I would drink those on a warm summer day.
I actually had one of those back in the day before I couldn't drink beer.
Yeah.
And I did like it. You know, I always drank Mexican beer. I always drank Sol or Corona or Dos Equis, you know. So when they made that beer, I was like, oh, let's try it. And I liked it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I always put a shot of tequila in it.
Of course.
Yeah. Tequila makes everything better.
So, Brad, you've sent me a few images lately of your social media kind of blowing up.
Yeah, it's gotten kind of crazy. I think when you left to go on your trip a couple weeks ago, I just hit like 1,500 followers on the Instagram, like 700 on the TikTok, and had just gone over like the 2,500 number on the YouTube.
The YouTubes.
And the YouTubes. As of today, I'm almost to 3,200 on the YouTubes, almost to 2,000 on the Instagram, almost to 1,000 on the TikTok. So yeah, it's growing really fast, and it's been really fun, and the views are up, and the hours are up, and yeah, it's doing what it's supposed to.
And I know that your success on your social media is kind of making you itch for this channel to grow.
I want this to blow up.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that. And you came up with some ideas to maybe do a little change here and there. So today is going to be one of those days where we're gonna mix it up a little bit.
But you know, we're still sticking to the real estate theme because we're kind of adding the social media theme into this, because one of the things, you know, I'm a mortgage guy, so I don't do a lot of mortgage social media, and the social media I've always done was for the purpose of getting mortgages. And then, you know, this became a lot of fun. And I always make the joke, the goal here is to become the next Kelsey brothers. I don't know which one of us is going to grow the beard, but probably you, because you're trying. So, you know, that became a joke of, okay, let's make money in social media. And then, so now my tequila side is really a thing to share the love of tequila and to share the tradition and all of the cool stuff that I think tequila has about it. But on the same note, now it's been okay, how can I become a social media guy? Like, it's pretty fun. So for me, they're separate.
Okay.
But in the real estate world, it seems like today more realtors are doing social media to become social media personalities than they are to sell a house. And I've seen so many videos that, like the videos that you do for social media, I know you're trying to build a big following social media, but really you're trying to get people that are moving to the Indianapolis area to call you and use them as the realtor, and you're sharing great information on Move Me to Indy.
Thank you. That's my YouTube page.
And that channel gives information, but you're not out there, you know, showing your boobs, if you will.
Right. Which is a good thing. But I will say it's a mindset thing, I suppose. And I belong to a couple of different social media coaching groups. So I get a lot of advice, and it's a matter of, you know, which advice do I want to take and run with? And what I hear a lot in those conversations is that in this business of real estate, it really shouldn't be about going viral, because yes, there will be the occasional realtor who goes viral for either a video, maybe a couple of videos, maybe they're, in a rare instance, their channel.
Or picking up a bad date.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a different viral.
That is. But honestly, I'm with the mindset that that's not my goal. I do not have a goal of making a video that is going to go viral. If it happens, great. But honestly, it almost makes it a bit harder, because how do you follow that up?
Right.
And with the algorithms of social media, if you don't have something good to follow up your viral video, it's not really going to necessarily help.
Like a one-hit wonder.
Honestly.
Like,
yes.
Let's name a one-hit wonder.
Aha.
That was the band? Aha.
Take On Me is the song.
They didn't have any other songs? They just had that one?
I honestly cannot think of any other songs from Aha.
Oh, that's really good, because I went completely blank. Like everybody I thought had so many good hits.
Yeah. So my goal.
I got one. The Hey Mickey, You're So Fine.
Yes. No, I don't know who did that one.
Yeah, that was a one-hit wonder.
Yes. And so, anyways, my goal is not to go viral, not to have an account that blows up into thousands and thousands, especially like tens of thousands of followers. Honestly, if I had one follower and they watched my videos and I got one deal out of it, success.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Exactly. And so I don't need a huge following of people to see my videos, and I don't necessarily need it to be super national either. Yes, if someone sees my Move Me to Indie videos on YouTube and decides, you know, that's an area I'd like to live and I want to find more information, that's what that's there for. But YouTube is social media versus Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, very different social media. So it's
very much,
it's a different vibe anyways. But getting back to your point, there are realtors who seem to be, maybe not intentionally, maybe intentionally, who knows, making videos that are a little edgier than others.
Edgy.
A little more out there than others. And what I find happening, of course, being a realtor, I get a lot of realtor content that comes into my feed. That's not necessarily a good thing for them because their target audience shouldn't be me. It should be people who want to buy houses.
Giving you ideas for your social.
That's really what I do is I follow other realtors, not a ton of them, but I do follow others because I want to get ideas from what they have to maybe make videos that I might do. Anyways, going back to it, there are realtors who sometimes make a video with the intention of blowing up into thousands and thousands of views. And obviously they want to grow their channel. But like where you started this line of questioning is their goal to sell more houses? Probably. Or are they trying to become a social media star?
I don't know. I think there's a lot, and we're going to show a video. So don't check out yet because this video is hilarious. This lady is absolutely funny.
And I will say her style of video is undoubtedly now trending in the real estate world.
Oh yeah, have you seen the blonde that gets down on the ground and like holds the microphone and says things like, "This bathroom has more regret than all your boyfriends."
She talks very quietly,
yeah,
and makes funny comments, undertoned about rooms in the house,
and hilarious.
Yep,
but I have to say,
in my opinion, from the socials that I've seen, she kind of started this trend.
Oh, was she the one? And
I
then
believe
this one
so.
came
And
out
now
afterwards?
this one that we're going to show here in just a minute, it has taken that to a new level.
I mean, this one got me on day one when she was standing at the end of a sidewalk that had really overgrown shrubbery, and she started with this house has more bush than my mom in the 80s. So now I followed her right away.
You know, they tell you the first 3 seconds are the most important of a video, called the hook.
The hook.
That's a hook right there.
Yeah, so I feel like some of these ones that I watch, although I find them funny, personally. Well, let's watch this video first. Let's watch this video, and then let's talk about what would happen if this realtor came to your house to list your house. So,
all right. So in this
watch the video here.
Account here, Tampa Bree. And so I would assume that is Tampa, Florida. And, well, just watch this and, you know, we'll talk about this.
You guys are going to fucking hate me. This house is $1.3 million. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, located in the pink streets of St. Pete. Please share this with your rich friends. I'm going to share it with the neckbeards in my DMs who keep offering me money to see pictures of my feet. Joke's on you.
So,
who buys pictures of feet and wants a neckbeard?
I find it funny. She's bleeping out the words. She's bleeping out the sound of the words. And I mean, you obviously know what she's saying. Just let it roll. But
yeah, you know, it's like there's a comedian one time that talks about, you know, going all the way. And he's like, my grandma, she went all the way. Like she never looked at me and said, heck. And he's like, well, I don't want to go to heck. You know, I want to. What's the other? He's like, gosh darn.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Shucks.
You know, he's like, all this off. He made it all biblical. It's hilarious.
Jesus Christ. That's right. He's funny. All right. Here we go.
I have athlete's foot. I am way too poor to be in this house right now. Seriously, though, when I was in elementary school and they would have those canned food drives, they'd be like, Brianna, why haven't you brought in any cans? I'm like, these are going to my house. Write my initials on the top of the can. I bet it ends up in my pantry. You think rich people sit here and talk about how rich they are?
Rich people sit here? Now, here's my thought, though. If her social media doesn't blow up, she's still heading to the pantry.
That she is.
Honey, I think we should buy a new vacation home. But darling,
now, I will say this is nice editing right here.
Yeah, that's
where
a good
she is
segment.
Talking to herself, and
Oh, I thought that was her twin sister.
Stylistically, I do know how to do this.
You do?
And yes, and it's pretty cool. But this is a great little conversation that she has right here.
Interest rates are over 6%. Who cares? Oh, you're a hoot. Bring me more wine and Xanax. Did you guys ever eat struggle meals as a kid? My favorite one was mixing every condiment we had with croutons. That used to be a struggle meal, and now it's a $65 entree at a Michelin star restaurant. Share this with someone who can...
That's fantastic. I never did that. My struggle meal was always just like beans and water, you know.
Oh man. As I'm listening to this, sorry, Stephanie, but my wife and I grew up very differently, and she's more of the pantry grow up kind of person, and I was not.
Oh, okay.
And so, I think about her and writing initials on canned food that you donate to see if it comes back to you.
So you were the one going, interest rates are over 6%.
Yes, sadly we were. But and then now here at the end, she's sharing it.
This was someone who could afford a $1.3 million home and then have them DM me because I'm taking sugar daddy applications. That's a f***ing joke. Stay out of my DMs, neckbeards.
So neckbeards. That's really funny. Okay, so here's my question to people that we just wanted. It's funny, right? There's a lot of great comedy in there, and she's done a great job. She obviously is a very sarcastic, witty person. Or she wrote, hey, chat GPT, make a really funny script for me.
Let's roast this house.
But
that's the thing.
If you were going to list your house for sale, do you want her to list it for sale?
Again, going back to the social media coaching that I'm a part of, this exact video, along with her other one where she's talking about her mom's bush in the 80s, has come up. And, everybody laughs about it. And then the question is, do you have the balls to do this video? And as I'm watching this, I'm laughing because I think it's hilarious. But I always say to myself, there's no way I'm making that video. Just because that's not who I am. Well, outside of videos, I probably am, to be honest. But in a professional real estate video, I'm probably not doing that. I certainly hope, I don't think there's any way that a realtor makes a video like this where they're not getting the permission of the homeowner. Okay, here's what I'm going to do with this video. I want to make sure that I clear that with you first. Because
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, there's a negative aspect of this we've had it on our show where I opened one of our shows when I edited it with a cuss word in the first 10 seconds. You got a phone call.
Yeah, a realtor said they didn't want to do a business with me because I drank and cussed.
Yes. And so there is definitely a segment of the population that's going to be absolutely turned off by this. And so, well, I mean, you can look at it from the standpoint of, all right, well, that's not the person who's going to buy your house.
Yeah, but I take it a step further. This is where I think we're talking about what's the difference of trying to be a social media person, a social media star versus a realtor. She highlighted how funny she is.
She did.
That house might not even be for sale. I don't know how to contact her to see it.
I mean, other than sending her a DM, unless you're a neckbeard, stay out of her DMs, and the name of her channel, Tampa Bree. So you would assume Tampa, Florida. Never once does she give the address.
She's not highlighted real estate at all. In fact, I don't know that she's actually a realtor. She could be just a social media person doing funny freaking videos about houses.
That is a thing.
I'd never even looked her up to see if she was actually
that is
a realtor.
thing. She is real estate from Tampa, Florida, and DM to work with her. She has nearly 80,000 followers.
So let me ask you this. Do you think she's making more money from social media than she is selling houses?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, are her recent videos the ones that are blowing up that are now thrown into another echelon?
Since you got it up and we've talked about it, let's show the one that got us both to find her for the first time. I believe it's that one right there.
Okay, all right.
Here's another one. Tell me what you think of this one.
This house has more bush than my mom in the 80s. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 776 square feet, St. Pete, Florida, $345,000. There's no...
Now there, she at least said the name of the city, which she did not do in the other one.
Good
gives
price.
You a square footage and gives you the price. So, some information right there.
And how does she know about her mom's bush in the 80s?
I think it's probably an assumption.
Maybe she walked in on her or something.
I mean, it was the 80s.
No garage, but let's be honest, you don't need to keep your 2011 Toyota Camry safe. I feel like a 1950s housewife. I'm waiting on my husband to come in here and tell me why I shouldn't make as much money as him. This is where I'd mount my TV so
At least she said mount her TV. There could have been so many other things.
I could rewatch Girls Gone Wild on repeat. What are you girls doing? Go back to class.
Now, did you ever watch Girls Gone Wild?
I've seen segments.
I've seen segments.
I don't know. No, I can 100% say for sure I'd never watched an entire DVD of them. Okay, at the end of this, we're going to talk about, in my opinion, the purpose of these videos, and in reference to what we're seeing here.
Is it dangerous of me to wear a white blazer next to a glory hole? This home's 11 minutes away from St. Pete Beach, which means it's probably going to be waterfront property in 50 years. Damn, this bidet is really high up. I had flaming hot Cheetos for lunch. I should have went to college, and instead I'm filming myself making glory hole jokes. This is where I'm going to put all the men in my DMs. I have more subs in my comment section than a Jersey Mike's.
Okay, so with videos like this and other videos that I've seen where people are offbeat humor as they're doing a house walkthrough. Number one, this is more visually engaging. Actually, no, more audio engaging, because you want to hear, assuming that you find it funny, what she says next.
Yeah, I'm not looking at what room she's going to go into next. I just want to know what she's going to say next.
That's the thing. Like, especially with this most recent video here. It's got one picture of her, or one video segment where she's sitting on the floor underneath the circuit board on the wall next to what she called the glory hole.
What was that, by the way?
Probably the dryer vent.
Oh, I thought it was an actual glory hole.
And another one right before that where she talks about mounting the TV on this absolutely blank white wall. The way I look at these videos, and again, coaching stuff, is come up with something creative as you're doing a house walkthrough, because a lot of house walkthrough videos, number one, are very much the same, and number two, they can be very boring. Like, okay, how are you going to make your walkthrough video stand out? So this is a way to make your house video stand out by being edgy, by being, something different. But at the same point, you're showing the various rooms of the house without calling out, check out this master bedroom, check out this kitchen and all their updated appliances. You can see that in the video without having to point it out. But in that one right there,
I'm showing you.
I don't give a shit about these terrible cabinets that are barely in the background, this blank white wall, and the circuit box on the wall. Now, the other video, I thought she did a better job with her images, but also kind of went along with what she said, too. Maybe she realized I should have better backgrounds. I don't know.
Okay, so I talk to buyers all of the time, and none of them ever say to me, "I've seen this house on Instagram," because it's not even regional, right? So people are searching for homes, I believe, by looking on Zillow or realtor.com or one of those websites that are giving people houses in their area. So are these videos, again, is she just showing this in her market because it's a great way to market it and it's on Instagram? Or is this literally to become Instagram famous?
And we all know that the more views you get on social media, the more likely it is that you wind up getting paid by said social media.
Right.
So looking at...
Before you jump to that,
yes.
I want to say one thing, because you do a great job at this, and I'm going to mention one other realtor that does a great job with this, and I know you won't mind, because his name is Sean Daniels. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Sean's your broker owner.
Correct.
And Sean's social media sometimes is funny. He does personality things a lot, but everything that Sean does, I don't think is, and you as well, I don't think it's something that somebody in California is going to be at a bar showing somebody your video because it's funny. Your content, even though you have comedic content, it's fun to watch and it's funny. Sean does as well, but it leads people to want to call you, to use you as a realtor in this market. If I was going to buy a house in St. Petersburg, Florida today, I wouldn't look for her number.
Well, Number one, I was at a real estate conference in October in Las Vegas. And there was a gentleman at the conference who had a gigantic hat like this. I did not take my hat with me. And I went up to him at the conference and started talking to him about his hat and how we have that in common. He was standing next to another gentleman. That guy was from Canada. He's standing next to another gentleman who was from Vegas. And I whipped out my phone and showed him one of my images with my hat on. And the guy from Las Vegas said, "I've seen you on social media." I was like, well, that's pretty fantastic. Not necessarily, unless he gives me a referral at some point for someone moving to Indy, that's not super helpful to me, but it is cool to see what type of reach that I have.
Similar to what happened to me the other day. We went to the Bimberg.
Yeah.
They have a new bartender. Chris, one of the older bartenders, said, yeah, Brad does a bunch of social media stuff. And he's like, you do? And I pulled him up and he goes, oh, dude, I follow you on YouTube. I watch your videos all the time. But again, you're not doing it just to be social media famous, but the hook that you do is working in other places. You're wanting to sell homes. I'm doing it for tequila, so that's not even, it doesn't even relate to what I do in the mortgage business. But I'm taking this type person as doing more of what I'm doing for the tequila world.
So
personally,
one of the things to consider, and like I said, she might be getting paid by social media at this point. Now I'm only looking at her Instagram account. The first video with the pubes for my mom in the 80s, 2.5 million views.
Yeah, that's
the first one that we showed, 1.3 million views. Her top 9 videos that I'm looking on this screen, the lowest one viewed is 69,000.
That's an appropriate number.
111,000, 133,000, 917,000. So
okay, DM her real quick since you don't have a neck beard and ask her, have any of these videos that you've done actually sold the house?
Now that's the thing. So maybe that one video isn't what sells a house for her, but maybe somebody sees that who looks up, they do the search in Instagram. They're like realtor in St. Petersburg or Tampa, Florida, right? She's likely going to be the first one that pops up. She may 100%. Be the first 5 videos that pop up. Someone sees 1, 2, 5 of those videos. If they find that person entertaining, then they may continue looking through her other videos. They may go to her profile right here, get her contact information, send her a DM, and now she's the person that they want to work with. That is great for her.
I agree with that. I totally agree with you.
So it's just a matter of getting more eyeballs on it. And so going back to your question of if you're the homeowner, would you want someone making a video of your house like that? What's the goal? The goal is to get as many eyeballs on your house as possible so that hopefully you can get the deal you want at the price you want at the terms that you want for your house. Well, if there's competition because so many people have seen this video and are interested in working with her and now they want to come buy that house or some other house, she's done her job.
My question is, when she does live showings, does she say the same stuff?
That is a good question.
It would be far more entertaining in person.
It really would. And, do people who work with her have the expectation? I guess you walk in with the expectation of she's going to say anything.
Right. What would you do on that toilet?
Just like with anybody else, you don't appeal to everyone. There are going to be people who are turned off by that. Okay, well, fuck them. I don't want to work with those people. I want to work with someone who wants to work with me. If they find me entertaining, great. They already know I'm vulgar, so I can pretty much say whatever at that point.
Yeah, I guess. I don't disagree with that. And, Justin Dangerous Nunley. Do you watch him?
Yeah, he's great.
He's one of my favorite Instagram people. If you're watching, Justin, thank you for what you do.
I'm sure he is.
But
he's retired Air Force now.
But he also works at a Harley dealership.
Oh, well, there you go.
Because why not? It's genius for that Harley dealership to say, hey, can you show your hundreds of thousands or millions of followers?
He's got over 1 million.
Yeah, to show them, our Harley dealership. And then he goes in there and people come in to buy Harleys, but they come in there to meet him. They want to get their picture taken with him and everything. So I get it. For me, he did everything to get social media famous and now he's utilizing that to help a business grow.
Absolutely.
My question is she really trying to sell real estate or just be internet famous? And I'm not mad at internet famous.
Nope.
It's our goal. It's our goal 100%. I want to wake up one day and say, you know, I'm doing loans now strictly because I want to help people buy homes because I'm internet famous. I don't have to worry about the money anymore.
Okay. We're going to break for a shot because I do have something to ask about her account, I suppose, that we're not going to know the answer to, but just sort of keep this conversation going. So we'll be right back. I'm Brian, your Indianapolis realtor. If you are looking to buy or sell a house in the Indy area, I'm your guy. If you're coming from out of state, want to make a move to the Indy area, I'm your guy. Check out the show notes for a link. We can get in touch and get you started. Thanks for watching. Now back to the show. All right. Well, we've had this on the show multiple times.
We have.
Our friends at Old Smoky Moonshine. This is Some Beach, and it is Some Beach good.
You know, you don't nose moonshine very often, but does that not just smell like summer?
It absolutely does. It smells
it's like a Hawaiian Tropic
sunscreen,
commercial.
Hawaiian Tropic, coconuts. Here we go. I'm not even shooting this.
And when you say Hawaiian Tropic, you can't think of anything ugly.
It's a good point. That's a good drink. All right. Before we went to our break there, I said I was going to come back and mention something about this woman's account. In that, you know, her recent videos, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers, some over millions, right? So at some point, her hope, I'm sure, in making these videos was to get one that blew up. To me, there's a difference between blowing up and going viral. But that's semantics. But now she's made a few videos where she is overly vulgar, being intentionally funny, and like, is that now her thing? Does she now have to come up with this? And I'm sure, well, no, there's a chance ChatGPT is helping her with that.
Oh, yeah.
But like, now that becomes her thing. Does she have to do that all the time now?
I think she's shooting for a shot on the Jimmy Kimmel show.
Well, that's fine. You know,
I'm not mad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not upset that someone's doing it for social media. The reason I wanted to do this is the question is this real estate content or is this I want to be social media famous content? Not mad about either.
Nope, not whatsoever. And I would assume that her business has kind of taken off in recent weeks and month or two. Who knows?
Or she's still selling them feet pics to neck beardos or whatever she called them.
Right, neck beards. You know, who knows? But it's very interesting. And like I said way earlier in the show, this has become a thing. There was a guy, I believe is known as Brad the Realtor down in Texas, who I was following several months ago. And he was doing videos like this with homes down in Texas. And they were really funny. And after a while, I got very tired of seeing it. And, you know, once you start watching someone's videos, they continue to show up in your feed. And so I saw them all the time. And I got to the point where I'm like, all right, well, he is literally doing the same thing every time. And it just gets really old. Being creative in these videos is so hard. And there are creators, there are realtors out there trying to do social media who, you know, feel like, oh, you know, her thing, it's already been done. I can't do that. People have already seen it. Well, your followers may have not seen it. And so, you know, it's a matter of being encouraging to yourself, being encouraging to
they heard of Hollywood?
Right? Oh, yeah.
I heard Airplane Naked Gun is being remade with Liam Neeson playing Leslie Nielsen's part.
Ah, interesting.
So I don't say
I love Naked Gun.
If it works for other people, I mean, take the Hollywood aspect. I mean, gosh, we're going to do FBI International, FBI Illinois, FBI Arizona,
Vegas,
you know, it's like FBI Vegas, CSI, like, and CSI and FBI are the same. You take
if it works, drive it into the ground.
Country music. I mean, gosh, take country music and take pop music. It's the same stuff over and over again. So I'm not mad at somebody that's doing that. And I understand doing it for the views and the likes. My question is, are they doing it because this worked for that person and now they're internet famous and I want to be internet famous? Or did they do it because they're like, I heard this gal over in St. Petersburg was selling so many homes that everybody was listing with her, and she was the best real estate person in the market because of this comedy that she's doing. And I don't see that piece of it.
And in my opinion, it's probably too early. Hopefully for her, she's obviously gained tens of thousands of followers and got millions and millions of views on her videos. Hopefully it's turning into business for her so that as she moves forward in the coming months and maybe by the end of the year, she has enough business to sustain for the year. And then she just uses that as her tag to get people, hey.
You're not saying in 25 years she's doing a video where she's like, this kitchen's fresher than my vagina. Because I could do those videos all day long, and you know it.
Oh, my gosh. And your Marge shot impression is fantastic.
Hey, honey. Hey, Shotzi. Don't do that over there. Come on.
Wait a minute. We're completely shifting right here. There was, in my opinion, very large news that just came out of Major League Baseball 2 days ago.
Can you make a transition where everything shifts and then shifts back?
Sure, we can do that.
Are you talking about Pete Rose being famous?
I am talking about Pete Rose, actually. He, along with others who have been kicked out of Major League Baseball for gambling, have been reinstated
and now allowed
by
to be in the
Major
Hall
League
of Fame.
Baseball, which makes them now eligible for the Hall of Fame. In my opinion, Pete Rose gets in now. Shoeless Joe Jackson from the 1918 Chicago White Sox.
What happened to him?
Okay.
Why was he not allowed to be in?
I
don't know anything about it.
What I know about Shoeless Joe comes from the movie 8 Men Out, but that's based on the true story of the 1918 White Sox who threw the World Series.
Oh,
they all got paid by gamblers.
Oh, okay. So it was a gambling thing
to throw the World Series. But again, Shoeless Joe agreed that he did agree to tank the World Series, but then never accepted any money and had the best batting average and performance in that entire World Series that they lost.
And I have to tell you, since that happened, the integrity of baseball was so damaged, I haven't watched it since.
Well, there you go. So in 1918, after the whole Black Sox scandal, Kennesaw Mountain Landis, who was the first commissioner of Major League Baseball.
Did you say 1918?
I did.
That's why I don't remember.
Over 100 years ago, the first commissioner of Major League Baseball said anyone found to be gambling on the game is going to be banned for life from Major League Baseball, thus making them ineligible for the Hall of Fame. Thus, Shoeless Joe Jackson, one of the greatest hitters of all time, not in the Hall of Fame. Now, probably going to be voted in by the Veterans Committee, I would assume.
So now you can go to the Hall of Fame and you'll be able to see a picture of him.
Ideally, yes.
Okay.
Pete Rose, same deal. Greatest hitter of all time, most hits in Major League Baseball history, absolutely belongs in the Hall of Fame. He got in trouble for what he did after his playing days. It was as a manager.
I was told that he was a really nice, amazing individual.
Are you being serious? The look on your face does not give me you're being honest.
Yeah, I've never heard a good thing of anybody that's ever met him.
Okay, well, there you go. So anyways, it'll be interesting to see if he and Shoeless Joe and others who may be eligible for the Hall of Fame now could get in. But I thought that was really big news. I'm a big I like baseball history, and so that whole thing.
First an American Pope, and now gamblers in the Hall of Fame.
Gosh, it's just a changing world.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Well, I really hope that this kind of episode, that this resonated. I would love to see some comments.
Okay, this one.
That's what I want to know.
It's got to be a comment episode. All right.
Please.
If you watched the segment here where we showed the video, please leave a comment because we want to know if I, as a realtor, came to your house and convinced you to let me list your house, and I said, by the way, I'd like to make a video, and I want to show you what this video is going to be like. How would you feel about that?
Everybody that comments will get a sticker mailed to them.
Oh, sweet.
So we'll mail a sticker, and then the comment that we like the best, because it's going to be our choice. We're going to look at it, and we're like, that's the best comment. We're going to send you a free hat. A Real Estate Makes Us Drink hat.
I like it.
But if we don't reach 20 comments, no one's getting a hat.
Oh, fair. I like that.
So
too.
20 comments, the best one gets a hat. Everybody that comments, you're going to have to DM us to get your address to us so we can mail you a sticker. And please please share this. Help us get this to grow a little bit. If you watch the show and you enjoy it, just all we're asking for is to, spend the rest of your life trying to make this show go famous.
That's our goal. All right, well, we'll see you next time on Real Estate Makes Us Drink. Cheers.
Cheers.